Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Sidecar Spin. Today I will be chatting with Brad Hunter. Brad started his sidecar career in observed trials and has now moved on to the reliability trials, where he most recently won the 24-hour trial. So we're going to chat to Brad a little bit about that and hope you enjoy.
Hello.
Hello Brad, welcome to the Sidecar Spin.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for jumping on. How you going?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, all right. Busy.
Busy? Yeah. No, that's how it seems to be. It's crazy. The days just fly.
Yeah, not enough hours in the day. I'm actually just trying to get all my bloody bikes organised for the weekend.
Yeah, radio. Yep.
Yeah.
Morgan.
Yeah, and we're just going to go out for a casual family ride tomorrow out at Jams, and then then head to Morgan on Sunday.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so it's always a mission, especially when I'm lending bikes to people to ride. So I've got to fix those bikes up too.
Yep. If one sidecar wasn't bad enough,
yeah,
trying to get others
and then
sorted as well.
Just trying to fit them all in the bloody trailer too. I'm like, it's like Tetris.
Yeah, need a big trailer as soon as you get a sidecar.
Yeah, sidecar just takes up everything then.
Yeah, for sure. But it's all fun and games.
No, it's good.
When you get out there, once you get out of the shed and onto the track, it's all fun and games.
Yeah, until you get home and then you got to wash them all and pack them all up.
Yeah, I know. That's probably one of the worst parts.
It's like, whose idea was this?
Besides the maintenance on the bikes,
yeah.
That's the worst part, is washing it, especially after a muddy event.
Yeah, it's hectic. So, for people who don't know you, can you just give us a little rundown, tell us a bit about yourself and how you got into sidecars?
Yep, so I've ridden bikes pretty well my whole life. Started out on a little Pee-wee 50 back when I could barely walk. From there, just rode the Caton Ride Days. And through my juniors, I never raced as a junior. I got into observed trials probably around the age 12, 13, I guess. Started out on that, doing competitive. That was my first real competitive events.
So were you on a sidecar doing that or just solo?
So I started out on a solo.
Yep.
From there, did a couple of years on the solo, and then through people we knew, got into sidecars in the trials. So my first gig on a sidecar was with Alex Turner, who is riding sidecars still in the reliability trials.
Yeah, he was behind me at the 24.
Yep, yeah, he was with Freddie this year. Yep. So yeah, my first proper gig on a sidecar was swinging for him.
Yep. And how much different is that? Like, what is there a lot of difference swinging on one of those to swinging on like a regular sidecar?
Yeah, I'm definitely no good as a passenger on a regular sidecar.
Yep.
So I can't say too much about that side of things. But on a trial sidecar, you definitely don't want to be moving too quickly.
Yep.
You want those subtle movements, and because your suspension's a whole lot softer, and it's really easy to unsettle the bikes.
Yep.
So just those subtle movements.
They'd be heaps lighter too, wouldn't they?
They are, yeah. It is really a complete different ball game.
Yep.
Riding one of those. It's definitely something people should get on and try.
Do you think doing that would help a lot with like transitioning over to another sidecar?
Yeah, definitely. Not just observed trials sidecar, just even solos.
Yeah.
In observed trials I feel for me has given me a big advantage in the way of line selection and maybe hitting different obstacles.
Yep.
You know, your exits out of creeks, rocks, logs, just all those different situations we come across in a reliability trial section. The observed trials background definitely has made that a whole lot easier for me as a rider.
So how long did you do that for?
I did that full on for probably 4 or 5 years, I'd say, as a solo, and probably the last 2 or 3 years of those were full on with the sidecar. Yep. And then had a couple of years break. Yeah, because then at one point there I was sort of doing both observed trials, and then that's when I started reliability trials on the solo. So I took over doing reliability trials over the trials for a while, and then when I got together with Soph, I got back into it for a few years, and then sort of took a step back from riding and helped her for a couple of years there, especially around the time that she went overseas to race the World Championships.
Yep. Did you guys do anything like massive on the sidecar? Like, did you guys achieve anything?
We started in. There's really only the 2 grades, B grade and A grade sidecar in the trials.
Yep.
We started in B grade, rode. Can't remember if it was one season, and then we went up to A grade, and I think we may have won a couple of B grade state titles, and then I can't remember if we rode a A grade state championship or not, but we definitely rode Australian titles when it was here in South Australia in 2011. Our club, Caton Club, ran the Aussie titles, and we had a 2-tier system, so A grade and B grade. But as a B grader, you were sort of fighting for the best we could get was, I think, 9th, because there was 8 A graders entered.
Oh, okay.
So we entered B grade because we probably weren't quite ready for the A grade steps and everything else. So I can't quite remember. I think we might have got second in the B grade class that year. So yeah, it was great fun. We didn't really travel interstate, but we travelled all over the state. And
is there many people that do it?
Back then, there was a real good turnout of sidecars. At the minute, there's very, very few. I don't even think they're getting a championship class for the Aussie titles.
Oh, that's a bugger.
Which is at least 5. So
yeah,
back then we had 1 year. I reckon there might have been at one of the events. I think there would have been probably 15 or so at least, just in South Australia.
Yeah.
So
the bikes are there. There's just people aren't just doing it.
The bikes are there, but I feel like it, and it's, as we see in motocross at the minute, I feel like it comes in waves.
Yeah.
And at the moment, it's just on a bit of a low. I think at some point it will come back up.
Yeah.
Because like when Dad was riding back in the 80s, they had big numbers at state events and Australian events.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind giving it a go. I reckon it would be cool. And I reckon just
definitely
learning that technique a bit different and feeling the weight, and I think everything would be sort of more hypersensitive.
It's definitely not an easy thing to get on and feel like you can just go and hit big rocks or anything.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be cool.
I've had the Hutchies on it 1 year when I was riding down at Victor Harbour and gave them a go on it, and it was quite a amusing laugh for me to watch them trying to get their head around it.
Yeah,
so
and they're like pro bloody sidecar reliability riders. Yeah.
Yeah, back then it was nice because it was something I was better than them at.
Yeah. Yeah. So if anyone's listening, go check out the observed trials and maybe have a go at it if you get a chance. Do they Do they have come and try days for them?
Not so much come and try days, but you can go out to any event, and their MSA used to have a come and try solo where you could basically go to an event and that was your bike for the day. I don't know if that bike's still around or if it's being used, but I'm sure if there was any interest, there'd be plenty of people willing to give a bike up for the day to give someone a ride.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I would. Yeah, I wouldn't mind giving it a go just to say, yep, I've been on one of those too.
yeah. I've still got my trials sidecar in the shed, so I'll have to get it out one day to give people a ride.
Yeah, no, it'd probably be a bit of an eye opener for people that have been swinging on the, the motocross sidecars or the reliability sidecars to have a go on there and just see how different it is.
Definitely, it would definitely open some eyes for sure.
Yeah,
it's not just all easy going slow. That's for sure.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of mental, like really a lot of technique thinking and stuff like that involved. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of thinking, and you really need to be precise with your line selection. If you're one tire width off on some lines, it could end badly. So. Precise line selection and clutch and throttle control, brake control, all of that sort of stuff is the fundamentals of trials, and I feel like that's what makes some good enduro riders.
Yeah, and did you have any bad accidents or anything, Connor?
Yeah, not too many. You always have over the handlebars and you're sort of going sliding down rocks and whatnot. As a passenger, you can sort of jump out of them pretty easy.
Yeah.
As a rider,
you get tangled up.
You definitely can get tangled up. One event there, Alex and I were going along the side of a hill, and it was a sidecar high off Canberra. And I don't know what happened, but whether we just got offline a little bit, and anyway, we took a sharp right turn down the hill, and I managed to jump out, but Alex got caught up in the sort of. He went over the bars and got caught up in the front wheel, and pretty well, went down the hill, rolling down the hill with the bike.
Yeah.
Just tangled up in it. He got his legs caught or something and just couldn't get out of it. So it can definitely go bad.
So after the trials you went on to, did you go straight on to reliability or did you go to motocross or?
No, haven't really done a whole lot of motocross.
Yeah.
My first time racing a sidecar was actually fill-in passenger for Lara Wedge in juniors. I did two events, and pretty well that was my motocross experience up until a couple of years ago, where I dabbled in at one or two events here and there. But after trials, once I got my license, it was straight into the 24. I'm riding this event, and Mum wasn't too keen, but she didn't really have a choice. Well, as soon as I was 16, that was my event that I wanted to race.
Yeah, so that was
your goal. Remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my goal. As soon as I was able to ride it, I was on the start line.
Yeah, and so you did your first one when you were 16?
16, yeah. So got my license and did Gawler and Cainton.
Yeah.
And at the start of the year as my first two road trials, and
that was on a solo.
24. That was on a solo, yeah. Yep. So then into the 24. So I did this 5 seasons. So I rode my last season on the solo in 2014.
Yep.
And at the start of the next season, that was when I really started looking to buy a sidecar and started looking around. I'd heard sort of whispers that Hutchies were potentially selling their bike. So I got on the front foot with them and started chatting to them a bit before Cainton 6 Hour, and then had a chat to them on the day of the Cainton 6 Hour, and it went from there. I think the following weekend or 2 weeks after Caton, I was heading down to Victor Harbour to have a look at this bike with Matty Neldner and didn't really expect to buy it or what I was really getting myself in for, and ended up driving home with a sidecar on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the road trials sidecar started.
Have you raced every 24 since you've got the sidecar?
No. So missed 2018 as Soph and I were working holiday over in Canada.
Yep.
So didn't ride that year. Didn't ride 2020 due to COVID, and then 21 was Soph's year to race, so I sat out that year. And then 2023 we did a Fink trip and rode Fink, so we skipped the 24 and 23. Apart from that, we've been on the start line a lot of years.
Have you had good finishes with the sidecar?
Yeah, so I've been fortunate to have no DNFs, so we're at 100% finishing record, which is
that's good.
Which is a very nice feeling to have. And whether that's good luck, bike prep, I'm not sure, but hopefully we can continue that run.
Who's been your passenger for all of those? Have you had a different one, or have you? Because you're with Brad now.
Yep. So started out with Adam Brook.
Yeah.
And so he was my first passenger. After I got the bike, I sent him a message asking if he'd be keen to sort of teach me a thing or two, because he was a A-grade motocross sidecar rider.
Yeah.
So he agreed to hop on, and I think it sort of just started out as a sort of go for a practice, and then I said maybe a couple messages after, what about doing the 24? So this was all of about 5-6 weeks before the 24.
So you baited him in. Oh, we'll just do a practice. Now we're doing the 24.
I think I got him at a weak moment, and next minute we're lining up on the start line. So he was my mentor for the first 3 years, I think, of my sidecar career. So he taught me a lot, especially being a sidecar rider himself, to be able to be on the bike and teaching me as a real green solo rider trying to transition over.
Yeah,
I think that was a really good start for me. I didn't have to learn all for myself. I had someone there.
Yeah, well,
giving me as many pointers as I can.
Instructions as you're going along and saying, go high, go low, sort of help him pick lines and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. So that worked really well. I'm probably lucky to even have had him after that 24, because I took the same line 3 laps in a row in this bull dusty rut, and he had to lift the bike out all 3 laps, and I'm surprised he didn't just tell me to go on by myself, because I don't think he was too happy with me on that corner.
But that bull dust, bloody hell! Sometimes you're trying to go where you want to go, and it just does what it wants.
Yeah, you can't really see. You don't really get an idea of the depth of the rut sometimes, and what you think might be shallow ruts, it can pull you in, and all of a sudden you're below axle depth, and you're beached on the bash plate and going not very far. yeah. And once you think, if you try to go a little bit to one side of it, if you can just pull you in. Yeah, definitely. It doesn't take much to pull them in. It before you know it, you're off the bike pulling them out.
Yeah.
So after Adam and I, we rode 2015, 16, 17, and 19, and then he told me that he was getting too old and was gonna retire, and then couple months later, he messaged me saying, "Oh, I feel bad, but I'm jumping on with Shane." I said, "Don't feel bad. It's all good. It's I don't. We're out there having fun, so you're not subject to stay with anyone for any time." So so he jumped on with Shane, and then when I come back after those couple of years, I had Ryan Pritchard on for the 2022 season, which was really good fun. We had some really good results. We got second in the 24 that year, and that was his first ever 24. So
oh wow!
So he jumped on and did a really good job.
Yeah, that's cool. What a good result for your first 24. Wow.
Yeah, definitely. And that was my first podium in the 24. We could never get on the podium with Brooko, which was a bit unfortunate. But
because he was too busy lifting you out of the bull dust.
Yeah, pretty well. If it wasn't that, I'd made poor decisions on lighting setups and we were having issues. But
that's just, that's all part of learning and part of the racing, I guess. You can't be perfect every time.
The 24 is a long event, and everything has to go right to get some good results. So, then obviously last year Brad jumped on, and that's last year and this year.
Yeah, so now you're a B1 and B2.
Yeah, that's right. So and there was a couple other ring-ins in a couple of events here and there.
Yeah.
And then last year, for something bit of fun, Soph wanted to ride, so I jumped on the side and tried to be a passenger for the day, which
well, you were still married at the end, so it mustn't have been too bad.
Yeah, we didn't have any fights. I made a couple of mistakes which caused us to go off track, but for someone who'd never really spent the time on the bike, she did a pretty good job.
Yeah, and it's hard to navigate that type of terrain if you're not used to it.
Definitely.
The
hardest thing is, your off camber stuff and getting out of creeks, and the sidecar just sometimes wants to do its own thing, and it can go all bad pretty quickly.
Well, I'm glad you guys were there because you saved us when our lights went out.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's all about the fun and that, and if it means getting someone through a section, it's what you do, and it's a good story for later on in life. It was definitely a weird experience for me, sitting on the bike and looking forward, looking back, making sure you guys are still coming. And
we're like, shit, we're like riding around in pitch black. I was like swinging on the bike by pure feel. I was like, oh my God, I'm glad Caroline's riding and not me. I would be freaking like, at least she's got that experience. I'm like, can you see? She's like, I can't see anything. And it's like, oh.
And there was some pretty steep climbs out of that creek in that section as well that could have gone nasty. So
and we're like right on the edge of the cliff of the creek as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
we're probably lucky we couldn't see, because we probably would have been like peeking out even more if we actually saw what we were nearly driving off.
Knew what was over the edge.
Yeah. So. Oh God. Yeah, that was crazy. So
it was.
What would be a typical prep for you for the 24 and like the road trials? Do you do anything, special?
The last few years I've started doing a bit of fitness. Realise that without it you can fall in a hole quite quickly, which has definitely helped over the last couple of years. But apart from that, majority of it goes into the bike, making sure all my time goes into the bike, making sure that's tip top and ready to go. But as much fitness as you can is definitely a benefit, but it's just finding the time to fit it in.
Yeah, and what's typical stuff that you would do to your bike to get it prepared for the road trials or the 24? Yeah,
this year we pretty well went over the whole bike after after our issues last year, we pretty well replaced everything that we could. And then majority of the years, you always do your tyres and new moose tubes and chain and sprockets and brake pads and grease your bearings or replace your bearings. That's my go-to every year, is making sure all that stuff is new, and fresh. Making sure all your little things like relays and even switches, either check them, clean them, or replace them, and make sure that's the stuff that's all brand new, ready to go.
Yeah, because that seems to be the little things that, like, you know, switches and stuff. That seems to be the stuff that bloody always plays up.
Yeah, definitely.
And you don't want to be out for something stupid like that.
Nah, for sure. Water can get in places so easily, and can definitely stuff things so quickly. So just that good shed time and maintenance goes a long way when you're out on the track.
Yeah. So this year, 24, you guys won.
Yeah, it was a unreal experience.
Yep. So you've been chasing that, you know, for a while now. It must have been pretty surreal.
Yeah, it was a very strange feeling coming across the finish line. Sort of knew we'd won, but it just didn't feel real. So it's as the weeks have gone on, it's definitely sunk in a whole lot more, and can sit back and sort of take it all in a bit more. But it's still a crazy feeling when someone says about congratulating you about winning the 24, because it's just been that event that I've grown up around my whole life, and just looking up to people and being out there. It's just something that I've, especially since transferring over to the sidecars, it's something that I've wanted to win for a long time now.
Yeah, and now you're one of those people that other people will be looking up to, and, you know, want to be like the younger generation. So that's pretty cool.
Which is definitely a crazy feeling.
Yeah.
When you put it like that, for sure.
Yep. So you're one of those people that you looked up to now.
It is. It's very cool. It's a crazy feeling.
Yeah. And how did you go? Like, give us a rundown on your sort of experience this year.
Yep. Yeah. So lap 1 started out. Really enjoyed the first couple of sections up in the hills, and then once we dropped down to the flats, it took me a while to sort of find my groove. I was not really reading the track too well, so I just sort of backed it off and just wanted to get through that first lap with no issues, don't break anything, and just get through to dinner time and really try and ramp up the pace through the night. So got through the first lap, no issues. We were feeling good, went into tea, feeling good. That was the first time I sort of found out where we were sort of sitting, so I knew we had about 80 seconds behind Crash.
Okay.
And I think Wally and Bucks were maybe 15 to 20 seconds in front of us as well. So we knew we had a bit of time to make up, but I wasn't too worried because I've always enjoyed night riding. So
yeah,
I knew it was going to be a long night, but if we could get into a groove through the night, I sort of had the confidence that we could peg back that time. So lap 2.
Do you follow the timing as you're riding around? Do you ask people, or do you just wait to the breaks and sort of have a quick look, or do you have someone like looking at it and going, oh, you're like, you know, this far behind or this far in front, like at fuel stops and stuff?
Yeah, so I know Brad sort of keeps a close eye on it, and he doesn't tend to tell me too much, which that's how I've always sort of wanted it to be.
Yeah.
This year, I didn't know any times from the first lap until I got back to tea time and had a bit of a look. So I knew then. Then going through the night, second lap, I didn't tend to be asking too much on that lap. I was just trying to get into a bit of a rhythm, and then sort of found out that we were not too far off crash after the lap 2. So then after that, I started sort of wanting to know to be able to sort of manage our race.
Does that put more pressure on you, do you think? Like knowing, or do you think it gives you that edge to like, all right, I'm going to push a bit harder, or?
Yeah, I always, when the live timing come in, I always thought I'd be not wanting to know at all because the pressure can come into it. But this year, once we sort of knew we were close to crash, I wanted to start knowing, and so I sort of kept on my times to be able to manage a race, but I wouldn't say it really affected me as much as I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
I knew that how I was going, so I knew if I just kept up that pace, it was sort of a good pace to ride at, but it never really brought in any mistakes. So when I knew that, I just kept finding out times and could sort of manage our race like that, which was nice to know, because if you didn't know your times, you'd maybe potentially be pushing harder and possibly make those mistakes and stuff your race. So it definitely worked in my favour this year, a whole lot more than I thought maybe it would. So yeah, we got through the night. With really no issues. Couple broken spokes, and so replaced those. Apart from that, really had no dramas at all. And then start of the last lap, I sort of had the game plan of really going quite hard on those first couple sections while it was still night, knowing that once the sun was up, I reckon crash will sort of really start getting back into it. So I knew we needed to have a good lead before the daybreak, which we were building more and more, and get to the end of the 6th section and come out of that section and see that the radiator's popped a bit of a hole in it. So that was a bit of a nervous time.
Yeah. Crash said when I did his podcast, he said he was like, "Ooh, we might have a chance here."
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the 24. There's no point giving up until you cross that finish line, because you can have a issue in the last section and DNF.
Yeah.
So we knew at that time Crash would catch wind of it and it would give him a bit more motivation. So we got the bike, got it repaired the best we could with a bit of need it, and it slowed the weep, and Brad just told me to just keep sending it. So that was all I needed to hear to not worry about it. So that went to the back of my brain, and we just focused on finishing the event.
No, that's
and
cool.
Luckily the hole didn't grow, and we just kept topping up the water, and got to the end.
It's handy, having that know about the bike so much that you're able to just get over those sort of things that happen.
Yeah, I think it's definitely gives me the confidence that with the knowledge that he has, it means I can just ride, and he knows what he's doing when there comes little issues or big issues. We can get it sorted and get back going. So it was, it was a calm fix and just get back into it with no time lost, luckily.
Yeah, cool. So did you guys have people following you around and support through the night?
Yeah, so I've always had good support right through my career. So so Sophie was out there supporting me. She sort of parked up at the cane control for the night laps, but then I have had my parents following us around all event, and auntie and uncle come up from Adelaide this year, so they followed around for a couple laps, and then Brad had a fair following with his family and friends.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, we had the people there when we needed them.
Yeah. And what do your parents think? Like you said, your mum wasn't too keen at the start. She's okay now?
Yeah, she has missed very little events. She's never missed a 24, but she might have missed a 6 hour or two here and there. But she's out there all the time. And yeah, dad's there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're always there, keen and eager to follow around.
Yeah, it always makes it better when you've got support from your family and people around you as well, because a lot of heart and hard work and everything goes into doing stuff like that. So you need that family support.
Yeah, no, it's good to have that.
Yeah,
good to have that support, especially for the 24.
Yeah,
it's a long race where you can get yourself in a low pretty quickly through the night.
Yeah. Have you ever had any demons sneak in like that?
Not really on that side of things. I always used to never eat or drink, so I'd just be running off adrenaline, and come 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I'd just start falling into a hole, and then I'd be spewing my guts up, and nothing would stay down, and it'd basically be
in shock.
Once that adrenaline wore off, it was just into spewing up and just trying to get through to the finish on the little energy that I had left.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest moments in the 24s, was just not eating and drinking at all. And so once I got over that was a big game changer for me.
Yeah.
I can just go through the night feeling good pretty well the whole time.
Yeah. So would you say that would be one of the sort of biggest things that you've learnt along the way?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Just being able to just have a little snack.
Yeah.
Everywhere you can, even if you don't feel like eating, you just need to continue to force yourself to eat, because then when you come in at your dinner break and come in at your breakfast break, you feel like you do want to eat and get that good stuff into you to keep going. So definitely getting the fluids down and eating protein bars or whatever it needs to be that you can stomach at all hours of the morning.
Yeah.
Is one of the biggest things I've learned.
And I can see how people wouldn't eat, because, when you are cruising around at those times of the night, it's not the typical time that you'd eat if you were at home. So your body's sort of like out of whack, and it thinks, I'm not eating now, like, yuck, I feel sick, sort of thing. And like that was even happening to me. Like I was eating the whole way, but when we stopped for breakfast, like I'm pretty sure our breakfast was at like 4 or 5 in the morning. Like there's no way I eat that early when I'm at home. Like I'm not eating breakfast till like 9 or 10 o'clock. So to eat it that early in the morning, my whole body was just like, ugh, yuck, like get it out.
Yeah, it's what we're doing on the bike is definitely not meant for the human body, but yeah, like I said, that's where you just through the night you just keep eating.
Yeah,
it's probably easier on the sidecar because I just get whoever my passenger is, I just get them to continue to just break little bits of protein bar off, and on the roads you just have a little bit of a protein bar every second road section, just to keep something in your stomach.
Yeah.
Whereas on the solo, you don't really have that luxury of having someone being able to feed you. So
yeah, and you forget
you
too.
you can only do it at a control, but then you might not be there for enough time to be able to stuff around and do that sort of stuff, or you forget about it, and then 6 hours go by and you haven't eaten anything, and
you're like, oh shit,
then you fall in a hole.
Yeah. I think it's definitely the Sidecar. I don't know. I just think it's definitely better on Sidecar. I enjoyed it a lot more.
It's a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Mentally, it's a whole lot easier having that person there to keep you going, and you have, you know, your passenger might fall into a hole, so the rider needs to get them back up and going, and then your rider might fall in the hole, and that's where the passenger needs to see that and get them back up and
you feed off each other, and as long as you don't do it at the same time, you should be right.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas you just don't have that as a solo rider. It's real easy to fall into that hole, and you don't even realise you're doing it, but you've fallen into that hole, and you might be 20, 30 seconds slower in a section, and you wouldn't even know it. Whereas the Sidecar, you back off a bit, and your passenger can feel that. So they give you that slap on the back of the head, and
then you think, oh shit, yeah, I'm in a race.
Yeah, that's right.
Not just trail riding around.
Exactly right.
Yeah, because you zone out a bit, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. It's easy to zone out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And especially when you go on, I reckon on those like the long transport sections sometimes.
Yeah,
sort of
for sure.
Drag.
You just anything with a long straight on a transport, you just get into. You can quickly slip into that hole, and but you just need to keep yourself going and get out of it as soon as you start fading.
Yeah, and I guess at least on the Sidecar as well, when you see people dressed as bloody gorillas and blow-up dolls and stuff around the track, you know you're not going crazy when both of you have seen it.
It's always a funny thing. You see plenty of different sights, that's for sure.
It's like, did I just see that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good. It's always good to have a bit of a laugh at the sights you see through the night.
Yeah. What's one of the most funniest one you've seen?
Just trying to think. The thing that sticks in my mind the most is from this year, going down one of the creeks at 3 a.m. There was, I think Crash might have said it in your last episode, there was Sean Blinkine down the creek. He's in his shorts, work boots, had his T-shirt off and flinging it around his head. And I sort of knew he was gonna. He said that he would be doing something. He said, I don't know where it's going to be or what time it is, but you'll see me. Anyway, we come around this corner in the creek, and we were probably fourth gear, pretty well tapped. And lights just shined up, and there he was in the middle of the creek, just swinging his T-shirt around. And yeah, that was a pretty funny thing, because you definitely wouldn't see me out there at 3 a.m. It'd be too cold for me to be in shorts and no shirt on.
Oh God.
But yeah, all that sort of stuff is always good to see.
Yeah.
One year my mate, I didn't actually see it because it was the last lap, but one of my mates, he had two of my mates, they had bear suits, and one of them had a toilet out there, so he was sitting on the toilet reading a magazine in amongst the scrub section. So when they say the saying, does the bear shit in the woods? Yes, it does, because there was one sitting on the toilet on the last lap of the 24. So
you come past that and think, what the hell? I've freaking lost it. I've lost the plot.
Yeah, I don't know how I didn't see it, but yeah, plenty of the guys seen it and had a good laugh.
Yeah, there's got to be some type of award for, some random stuff that people do. There's got to be something.
Yeah.
An award for someone that comes up with the best, like, thing on the side of the track.
Yeah. No, it's always good to see.
Yeah. No.
Even this year with the guy in the KFC outfit.
Yeah.
At one of the controls, that was pretty funny. But when he was offering KFC around, I don't think there was any KFC in there, but yeah, when we got there, I looked and I was like, oh, that's the last thing I feel like right about now.
Yeah.
bit of greasy chicken.
Oh, I didn't know it was a real person. I thought it was a mannequin because he was all like standing still when we saw him, and then he bloody moved and scared the crap out of us. But yeah, because there was a minion. There was someone dressed in a minion costume there as well, and then someone was dressed in like a suit, like a going out suit, like they'd just come from a bloody wedding or something.
Yeah, no, you like you said, you sometimes you take that second look to see it. Did I actually see that, or what?
Yeah. And I reckon one of the control keepers was bloody dressed up as Where's Wally as well, and we rolled up. We're like, they look normal the first couple laps, and then you come around and it's like, what the hell, it's Where's Wally?
Yeah, no, it's always good the control keepers dressing up, and you always have a bit of a laugh. Yeah,
and like, it's pretty crazy, you know, how long some of those people have been doing it for too.
Yeah, no, it's they enjoy the event just as much as the riders do.
Yeah,
it's their weekend to go out and sit out in some pretty nice spots. Sometimes not very nice spots, but yeah, they wouldn't miss it either, I don't think.
Yeah, because they have some pretty cool setups. Like that Harry's control, they had soup, coffees, they had barbecues, like couches, air horns, like all sorts of stuff going on.
Yeah, Harry's control was always good to roll into. You always know it's going to be a decent setup, and he's always there cooking up a storm of some description. So yeah. He's always doing always puts on a really good control. Yeah,
well, when we pulled up, I think on the last lap, they were like, "Oh, do you guys want some soup?" or "Do you want a coffee?" And we're like, "Oh no, we're all right." But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. They go to a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Some of the controls, that's for sure.
Yeah, and they definitely make it. Like, it wouldn't be the same without all that effort and all those people doing that. So, yeah, big hats off to all those people and the ones that just come back year after year after year. Like, I think there was something I read about, I think it was a lady had done like something crazy, like 50-something years of control or something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I think it was last year it popped up, but she was not doing them anymore. But I'm pretty sure it was something like 50 years.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, no, there's a few of them that have been around for a long time, but like I said, they don't miss it for anything.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So what would you say would be like your most memorable moments on Sidecar? Would it be winning this 24?
Yeah, I'd be silly if I said it wasn't. It's definitely, like I said, something that I've wanted for so long. So to be able to win it, it's definitely going to stick in the memory bank forever.
Yeah.
Even getting second, being the first time on the podium was pretty special. Being able to finally, after I think 4 attempts of getting fourths and fifths, to be able to finally get second was a good feeling. And then the first year, that first finish is always nice as well.
Yeah.
We had the bike in bits 3 weeks before the event, which was only probably two weeks or so after I bought the bike, because the gearbox shit itself. So yeah, two weeks after I bought the bike, I'm on the phone to Hutchies and do you mind rebuilding my engine? And because they obviously had just sold me the bike, they felt pretty bad, so they helped me out in a big way. even after I bought a bike, they didn't have to, but they felt really bad. So helped me out in a big way with that and got me to the start line, and they played a big part over the years in helping me be where I am now.
Yeah, and
with whether that's advice with motor and frame, or if it's advice with riding.
Yeah,
they've been big as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and I guess those, when you have those types of what do you call, like, challenges, it always makes the win or the finish or whatever just better.
Yeah, for sure. Like, for me, never really riding a sidecar before, and then having that challenge of blowing a gearbox and having to get that replaced within a couple of weeks, to then go out and really I had two practices on the bike before racing the 24 my first year. So
wow. So did you do any reliability trials before that?
Nah, because I'd literally bought the bike I think it was about 5 weeks, 6 weeks out from the 24. So I had no bike time really at all.
Yeah.
So I was real green at it. Yeah, real keen and
green and keen.
green and keen. So to finish that one, that was a pretty memorable one.
Yeah, that's
that I
awesome.
won't forget.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. So what would you say would have probably been your biggest challenges over all the years, like, as a racer?
Yeah, probably like I said, through the 24 when I was younger and just not fueling myself. That's always been my biggest challenge, and just getting into those lows in the 24. 6 hours, you're only on the bike for obviously 6 hours, so you don't really seem to get into those lows that you do in the 24. So that's probably been the most challenging that I've sort of come across.
Yeah.
2016 was a nice challenging one. It was perfect conditions on the first lap, and even probably halfway around the second lap, we still had perfect conditions, and then all of a sudden it rained and it didn't stop. It did not stop for the rest of the event, and things just turned to mud and end up the last lap. I think the sidecars only rode about half the sections because the rest of them were cut out because it was too hard for sidecars to get through.
Yeah.
So that was a challenge, just because that was probably the first real mud event that I'd raced on a sidecar.
And having those sections cut out would be a challenge, because mentally having to sit around and wait to go, like, through the night and stuff, that would suck.
It's a whole lot harder because you're not racing, so your mind's not switched on.
Yeah, and
like it would be.
It's just easier just to keep going. I found, like, when we stopped for that one the last 24, that just killed me, stopping. I would rather just be go and just get it done. But sitting around like that, and you're just like, just want to go.
Yeah, your body sort of relaxes, and then when you do need to get back on it does take you a while to get back into the groove again.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard when sections are cut, to be able to get back into it again once you get to that next section.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
And the 24 hours, just like riding in the night, and then I think there's just so much more to challenge you than like the 6 hours, because you've got that 6 hours, but not a lot happens in the 6 hours compared to in the 24, where you've got such a long time to ride through the night. You're getting tired, the food, you could probably get away with riding a 6 hour without eating anything, but you can't do that in the 24.
Yeah, for sure. And then you've got the challenge of the track deteriorating a whole lot more than a 6 hour because you got double the bikes going over it.
Yeah.
Over your 4 laps, so your track that you're riding on lap 1 compared to lap 4 is a whole different game. Whereas you don't really find that in the 6 hours. It's sort of a pretty easy ride, really.
Yeah, well, I reckon, like, I think now from doing the 24, going back to 6 hours now, I'm going to be like, oh, this is nothing. This is easy.
Yeah, exactly. It's a whole different ball game.
And I think unless you've done the 24 and finished the 24, like, you know, at the start I would think, oh, 6 hours, that's heaps long. And then when I tell people, oh, yeah, I've got to do a 6 hour race, they're like, what, 6 hours on the sidecar? I'm like, yeah. They're like, you're mad. But now, yeah, after doing the 24, I think, oh, 6 hours, oh, that's easy.
yeah, no, definitely. It's after that first 24 finish, the 6 hours will be an absolute breeze.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing the next one now because I'm like, oh, it'll be different to see what it feels like now after doing the big one.
Yeah, probably changes your mindset and it probably makes it a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Just mentally.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a crazy thing.
Definitely.
You tell people now, like, you know, oh, 24 hours, they're like, what the hell? Like, they think 24 hours, but they're like, what? So you go around for that long? Do you swap with people? Is it like a relay? I'm like, nah.
Yeah, no, some people just can't comprehend the event.
No, they're just like, what the hell? And then you take someone for a ride on the sidecar. Like, I've taken people, you know, for 2 little laps around out at like Jams or somewhere, and they are tapping out and just like can't even handle it. And there's like, it's not even any like bad terrain. And then they think, what the hell? How the hell can you do that for 24 hours?
Yeah, they think, oh, you just sit on the side and you just go for a ride. It's like, yeah, not quite that easy.
Yeah, well, it's full on. So, did you guys have any like scary, like near misses, holy cow sort of moments?
Not really. We had a really clean run considering the speed the track was. Yeah. We had a pretty smooth run. We overshot one corner. I think it was on lap 2. Overshot a corner and just didn't quite pull it up in time and sort of just ran a bit wide and thought I'll just go around this bush, and just before the bush there was this massive wombat hole. So last minute Brad's just sort of pulled back on the bike and I've popped the clutch and we've monoed over it. But looking at it as we were doing it, I couldn't really see the bottom of the hole, and it was probably a good what felt like 1.5 to 2 meters sort of hole that we sort of had to jump over.
It's probably the one that we got stuck in.
That was a little bit of a scary sort of moment. Just if I didn't pop the clutch and get the front wheel over, it would have, the wombat hole definitely would have swallowed the front end. So that was a bit hairy. And then, apart from that, we really didn't have too many scary moments. Usually you have one or two, but we really had a dream run.
Yeah, that's
really
awesome.
So it was you really couldn't ask for any better run than what we had. So we were very, very lucky with that.
Yeah. And throughout all the other like reliability trials and 24s, have you ever had anything like, bad happen? Or you being pretty good?
Just a couple crashes here and there. I've had a couple with Brooko, two being up at Clare. We never seemed to get along at Clare real well. I know he's had one or two with Shane as well, so he doesn't really enjoy Clare. And that's nothing to do with the event. It just seemed to be that we've just had a unlucky crash.
Yeah.
Where we had one. He jumped on last year with me for Claire as a bit of a fun ride, and we just hit a V dip and the back ends kicked us up, and we've gone over the handlebars, and he's ended up 5 metres up the track, and
Oh, jeez.
I sort of ended up a metre or two up the track looking back down at the bike, and Brooko wasn't anywhere to be seen, and I turned around and there he was up the track just staring back at me, and
Like, what the hell?
what have I done to him? Have I knocked him out? Have I broken any bones? And that, but we got back on and finished, but that was the same sort of V-dip that Crash and Stiff hit it as well. Stayed on the bike, but I think Stiff might have broken his ankle on that one, so it caught a couple of us out.
Yeah, bloody hell.
So it happens quickly, especially when you're hitting those V-dips and whatnot pretty fast. If you don't quite hit them right, it can end badly.
Yeah, and they come out of nowhere sometimes too.
They do, yeah. They certainly do, and when you start hitting them at pace, everything starts coming at you quicker, and yeah, if you don't have that quick reaction time to slow the bike up, it can bite in the ass pretty quick.
Yeah. So have you had any injuries?
Touch wood, I've never broken a bone, so
cool.
hopefully that stays like that.
Yeah.
I've had a pretty good run. I sort of semi knocked myself out at Manham 1 year, but not too bad. Apart from that, you always have the occasional crash or whatnot, but touch wood, we've had a clean health. So,
and when something like that happens, how do you come back from that, like mentally? Like, does it mess with you, or are you pretty good when you just get back on and just keep sending it?
No, it does. It takes me a bit to. The couple crashes on the sidecar I've had definitely have rattled you for the rest of the event. Another one we had up at Clare a couple of years back. We went around left-hander and the bike just kept going left, and we got 90 degrees to the track, and it's flicked up and sent Brooko flying, and that one was a pretty nasty one, which definitely knocked my confidence, because then you're worrying about that happening again.
Yeah.
And in that event, it started raining, and everything just turned to ice. So your bikes on the left-handers, it was just sliding around further and further, a lot easier. So you're waiting for it to do it again, and so that's probably for the rest of the event. That's when it sort of still gets me, and then usually by the time we race again, I sort of cleared that from the memory bank and try and go again.
That exact thing actually happened to me on the weekend. I was practicing with Brian Anthony, and I came around a left like that, and the bike just kept sliding, and then it slid until we slid right around, and then it dug in and we flipped it and go flying off, and I was like I did a big Superman off the bike, but then I was waiting, bracing. I'm thinking the bike's going to land on me or Brian's going to land on me. And then I was like, oh, nah, all good. And then I was I felt so bad after that, because, he's going up to race in the Aussie titles in a couple of weeks. And I'm like, oh my God. And he was helping me and coaching me. And then I bloody slid us out and flung him off. And I was like, no, don't break anything or hurt anything.
Yeah, it happens in that situation. It happens so quickly.
Yeah.
And everyone sort of told me if you get into that situation, you just need to sort of power on and keep doing it and go and do a 360.
Yeah.
But in that situation, the first thing you want to do is just button off.
Yeah. And I reckon that's what I did.
You roll the throttle off, and then
it digs in.
Yeah, you stop sliding and you dig in.
Yeah.
So whereas this year up at Robertstown, Brad and I did the full 360 on one corner, because
I saw that on a video. I reckon, was that in that muddy section, and you just come out of that bog hole and they went, done a 360 and then took off?
It was. and in that moment, I just remembered, right, I need to keep this on. So
yeah. And
we weren't the only ones to do it on that corner. Plowie and Brad Brook were in front of us and did it before us as well.
Yeah.
So,
How'd you go getting through there? Because I was on solo and I was one of the first bikes to go through. So I thought, holy shit, this is going to be so smashed up by the time the sidecars get through. But I didn't get to see anyone. I seen a couple of like little snippets of videos like of you guys doing that 360. But I didn't get to see everyone going through. Was it pretty hectic?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad for us going through. It was just that last bog hole. We got a bit bogged in that, but I think that was just a bit of a poor line selection. But yeah, a lot of that stuff is just pot luck. If you pick a good line or not, I tend to aim for the reeds where people haven't been.
Yeah.
Where usually that's the harder ground where people haven't been. You know, there's not going to be deep holes under the lying water.
Yeah.
But in that situation, we sort of couldn't really go any wider, so we just had to hope and pray that we got through, and unfortunately we didn't. So, but the rest of the section that was fine. It was a bit wet and slippery, but it's nothing I hadn't ridden before. But
what do you reckon's worse, that or bull dust?
Probably, I'd probably prefer riding in the bull dust.
Yep.
Not so much the track conditions, but more so when you're not on the bike, or if you're at fuel dumps, you're not getting rained on.
Yeah.
That's when it's wet. It's tend to be raining as well, and everything. You just get wet and cold. And
yeah, your boots get filled up with bloody mud and water trying to push your bike out of everything.
That's right, and the bull dust, you can sort of, I find you can sort of pick your way through it a bit easier than the mud. Yeah. The mud's a whole lot more unpredictable, and then you get to a mud hole with lying water, and you really got no idea how deep the holes are and what's in the mud hole. So
it's a bit
I think
scary,
I prefer
isn't it? Really?
Yeah,
like, you don't know if there's a giant rock in there or anything.
Yeah, you're just hoping that you're going to get through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'd prefer the dry conditions.
Yeah.
Over the wet.
Yeah. And what's your favourite type of sort of terrain and stuff to ride on? Like, do you like the creeks or do you like the flat grassy stuff or? Yeah,
probably my favourite stuff is tight scrub sections where you sort of second, third gear and that's it. You really can flick the bike through the trees and
like zigzagging in and out of all the trees.
Zigzagging in and out, yeah. Yep, that's my favourite type of riding. I'd prefer that over the faster stuff.
Yeah, me too. I like that. It's fun.
Yeah, it's good fun in that sort of terrain, and then creek sections as well. Not the sort of creek sections we had in the 24 this year, but the tighter, narrower creeks.
Yeah.
Where you're sort of jumping in and out of them, and it brings in that trials background, I guess, a little bit with line selection and knowing how to get the sidecar through those creeks in the quickest way.
Yeah, like the moving sort of the balancing side of it, sort of going through, because those creeks are the ones that always have like those lumps in the middle. I reckon they're hard. Like when I was like a beginner passenger, that was like the scariest part with those creeks.
That's right.
You just don't know where to go. Like you're just like, oh, am I on that side? Am I on that side? And it's like, oh shit! Like it was really like mushing my brain. Yeah,
for sure. They're the sort of sections where you can definitely make up some good time if you have good lines. I feel.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that I really really enjoy.
So who would have been your biggest influence?
Probably growing up around Dad and his close mates within the motorbikes. They were all a part of the sidecar community through the sort of 80s and 90s. So I'd always look up to them, and you'd be out at family friends' shows and you just hear the stories. So that's who I'd always look up to, the likes of Craig Zaghi and Ted Redway and Nige Evans, Pete Kurtz and Mark and Robin Schick, sort of all those guys that rode sidecars in the 80s and 90s. And yeah, you just listen to the stories and sort of that's what made me always want to jump on a sidecar one day. So they were definitely ones that I always looked up to. And then through the sort of through the 2000s there, always being out at the events, and the 24, Dave Manuel and Tony Sharkey were the guys that you'd always sort of look up to. They were around it, if not winning a lot of the time. So they're definitely one of the teams that you sort of look up to and hopefully want to be like one day, and maybe even get on the winners list. So yeah, to be able to get on the winners list with the likes of those, there's plenty to be pretty happy about being on the list with. But Crash and Stiff and Mark and Tyson and the Hutchies, those sort of four teams have been the main winners over the last 25 years, with the exception of a few different teams here and there, which are definitely very worthy winners of the 24 as well. It's like Shane Beckman and Brian the other year, and Hector Evans and Sean Harmon.
Yeah.
So to be able to go onto that winners list with all those sort of names, they're definitely all the people you sort of look up to when you're younger, keen sidecar enthusiast.
And it would feel sort of a bit strange too, having those people, looking up to those people, and then now you're racing against some of them and like you've beaten them. Like that would be a bit of a surreal feeling as well.
It is, and it was always something I wanted to achieve, was to be able to beat Hutchies and Crash and Stiff and Mark and Tyson and all the guys while they're all at the top of their game, because it just makes it even better to win, knowing it's a competitive field. And even all the even over the last 2-3 years, the amount of sidecar teams that could have won not just a 24 but a 6 hour, you're talking up to 10 different teams that have the capabilities of winning. So to be able to win in the fast field is a pretty cool feeling as well.
Yeah, and like a lot of those places would only be seconds apart too, wouldn't they? So it's a pretty tight sort of thing to be able to win.
It is. It's especially for the 6 hours. The racing is so tight and so exciting and fun. It's good to win, but it's just good to be out there riding with everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, and like Crash said, didn't he say he beat the Hutchies by like 11 seconds or something? Like that's nothing. Like how it's so close. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. It's like when you look at that over 24 hours of riding, to be able be first and second being 11 seconds apart, it just goes to show the competition that we have at the moment is pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's not just a couple teams, it's 6, 7, 8, 9 teams that really have a chance of winning each event.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. So have you ever thought about going over and doing the Welsh 2-day?
It hasn't been on my radar a whole lot. But yeah, not long after the 24 this year, I got a message from Alan asking, so when are we making this happen? So I'll never say never, but at the minute I haven't haven't considered it, but we'll it's definitely. I'm not going to say no. If the opportunity arises one day, we might find ourselves over there.
Yeah.
And see how we go against them in their conditions.
Yeah. Is that the only type of race like that over there? Is there any other sort of races that you could do?
I think they have enduro series over there as well.
Oh, okay.
So I think their enduro series is pretty big. So I'd say there'd be plenty others in the way of enduros, but then obviously you got your motocross. But that's something that I'm definitely no good at, jumping and whatnot. So I'll stay clear of the motocross track.
Good at Morgan the other week.
Yeah, no, that was a bit of fun, but
Yeah.
I think I definitely lost all my time. Bucks was always getting me on the jumps. He just
He's nuts.
send
That's
it
right.
that little bit further. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I knew our corner speed was okay, but just holding on over the jumps is definitely where I lack my speed on a motocross track.
Yeah, it's definitely a different bloody breed to be jumping that big.
It is, and it's just something that the more you do, the confident you'll get. But I just haven't done enough to just have the confidence to just send it, even though Brad probably was wanting me to. It was just me me off,
Yeah.
and Bucks doesn't. He's a madman at the minute. He's very quick and he's going to be hard to beat in the coming years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty insane watching him over some of those jumps. I remember at Perry, he was just on the old bike, like on the old banger, he's just like out jumping everyone. I was like, oh my god, he's bloody mad.
Yeah, no, he is a good rider.
Yeah, no, it's going to be cool to see what he ends up doing, and him and Wally seem like they're a pretty good team.
For sure, it's good to have another one in the mix.
Yeah. So, do you have you had any really like funny things happen? Like just stuff that's just, I don't know, stupid and funny, and you think, oh my god, I can't believe that happened.
You always have your funny things that happen during the events that you laugh about. You go through sections and you stuff up a corner, or you see something and whatnot. This year, I don't think it was no, it might have been the 24, and I reckon Dave Manuel, he come up to me, and I think it might have been dinner time or something. Anyway, we were talking about stalling the bike, and Brad had told him that stalled it once or twice, and he was like, right, every time you stall it, you owe me $20. And,
Oh
and I was
no.
like, yep, rightio. And anyway, we're in a section, and sure enough, I stalled it, and we got out of the section, and Brad said, oh, well, you owe Dad $20. And I said, yeah, that's the first thing I thought of as soon as I bloody did it. So we had a good laugh about that. But you have all that little stuff that you have a giggle about and a laugh. Every event, there's always something to chuckle about.
Yeah, and that's what makes it fun too. Like if it's not fun, there's no point in doing it, really, is there? You gotta have fun.
There's always some sort of banter going on at controls within the sidecar group. So there's always someone slinging shit at someone and having a bit of laugh, and it's just good fun. No one takes it real seriously, so you can hang shit on someone and they won't get offended. So it's been a good group to ride with, and we get stuck in our little bubble up the front because you got your 8-10 experts, and really that's all you see, because you don't get to spend the time at controls, so you don't get to mingle with the clubbies as much as what we'd probably like. So you are always stuck with the same people, race in, race out. So you sort of have to have that fun to keep going. But it's always good when we was back in the clubbies, because you'd have different people that you'd be able to talk to each event and be around.
Yeah,
So
see, I didn't think of it like that because the clubbies, because people, they're like, oh, sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. So you're always sort of near, like the same sort of group, but usually near different people each time. Whereas you guys that are more serious, it's probably the same people that are like, right, we're doing every event, and you guys are in that small sort of group at the front.
yeah, and I guess that's the thing with having the classes, or the expert class together, and then the clubbies is, I know over the last couple of years it's sort of been a bit of a seeding on fastest to slowest or slowest to fastest, just to make it a fair and good ride for everyone. So
Yeah,
not only is no one catching someone, but there isn't a slower person waiting to be caught, and that just gives them not as good a experience and as good a race.
yeah, because
Whereas if
it
you're sort
can
of
put the
seated,
pressure.
yeah. Whereas if you're seated on on slowest to fastest or fastest to slowest, generally you're not going to be catching people, and it just makes for everyone's day to be better.
Yeah,
I feel so.
yeah,
But yeah, like I said, with the experts being all in the same class and all around the same time, you are stuck with the same people. So as long as it's kept fun, everyone's happy, and you enjoy, keep going out to race.
yeah. What would be your favourite thing about racing sidecars?
I think it's just the probably the banter that you get from everyone. It's, we're when the clock ticks over and it's your minute to start a section, everyone's racing to win. But when it comes down to when we're waiting at a control or at fuel dump, everyone's there just having a good time. And after the event, and it's good fun to be around. And then being able to achieve these results with someone else, it's not just a one man race. You both have to be contributing the same amount and putting in the effort to make it successful as a team.
Yeah,
So that's probably one of the best things about it, is being able to do it with someone else, and the reward you get to share with that person.
yeah, and that's your bond
if
for
you work
life
well.
then.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, it's something you can't, I don't know, unless you sort of do it, it's hard to explain to people.
for sure,
Yeah,
it is a different feeling, but it's it's a good fun sport to be in.
yeah. So over all the years, who would have you sort of had your best battles with, do you reckon?
Uh, Probably it's been best battles. It'd have to be over the last 2 years, being able to be finally real competitive right at the top has always been good. Um, this year was the first year I've been managed to beat Shane Beckman in the 24. So little wins like that is
Yep.
always good to be able to beat people that you've never been able to in the past. But yeah, the last couple of years having those battles with pretty well all the experts has been really good. A few years back, Hutchies and Crash were sort of that little step above, and there'd be us and Plowie and Shane Beckman and Blinks and a few of those, where we'd all be battling for third, fourth, fifth,
Yep.
sixth. Mark and Tice as well. So it's always good fun to battle all the experts.
If you could go back and do anything different, would you do anything different?
I don't think so. I've got no regrets on how I've done it all. I definitely wouldn't regret and don't regret starting out in trials. I think that's one of the best ways to teach, especially from a young age. I think it's one of the best ways to get kids into bikes and give them those fundamentals that they can go and transfer over to many different disciplines. And there's plenty of winners from 24 and like even in enduros, not just state scenes but Australia, where they've started out in trials and built those skills and then transferred over to the speed. So that's one thing I've been thankful to have been pushed into at the start of my career.
Yeah. And what now that you've won the 24, what's next? What's the future hold?
I honestly don't know. I've always said once I win that, I'll be happy. And if I were to never race again, it wouldn't bother me. If I do and never win the event again, it won't bother me. So I've done what I wanted to, but I think we'll just, we haven't spoken about what's to come, whether we line up again next year or not. But if we do, it'll be a pretty cool feeling leading out the pack in the 24, and we'll just see. Like I said, we haven't really had that conversation, so
Yeah.
we need to work out what we're doing. We're sort of just still enjoying the fact that we were able to make it happen, and
Yeah.
we'll
So
we'll
have
go from there.
you won the reliabilities series?
It's a funny one. The way that the reliability series is sort of scored, it sort of changed over the years, a few different ways. But the years that we have done a full season, when I was riding with Brooko, he won as a passenger, but I didn't win as a rider because
Yeah, it's weird how it's like that, isn't it?
so it's changed now. So the outright is as a team, but then classes is individuals. So if it was like that back then, I would have won the series, but it wasn't, and that's the way it goes. So I haven't won the outright series, but I've won clubman state series in my sort of first full year of riding the sidecar.
Yeah.
Which was a good year for us.
Have you won? But you would have won events, yeah.
Up until I had run outright events with Brooko down at Manham a couple times, and then clubman we'd won quite a few through 2015 and 2016, and then last year the first three events Brad and I managed to win. So that was a handy little confidence booster at the start of last year going into 24.
Yeah, you guys were killing it last year. You
Yeah,
really
we
were.
was having a good year until the bike decided to stop last year. So,
Yeah.
but that's the way it goes. It's that's all part of the fun and
Yeah.
why we do it.
Yeah. Well, you can always make a new goal now, like 10, 24 wins or something.
Look, like I said, I'm happy that I got one, and this one will be with me forever. So if I never won it again, it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
It's just an unreal feeling to have managed to win.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to anyone new wanting to either give trials a go, reliability, 24, whatever on Sidecar?
Just, yeah, give it a go. Ask around. It's a hard sport to get into unless you just go and buy a bike. So all you can do is just ask someone if you can have a ride, or ask someone if they can take you out for a ride, and what's the worst they're going to do is say no. So if we can get more people confident to just ask the question and have to go out for a ride and see if they like it, then it will continue to build the sport bigger and bigger. So yeah, just get out there and ask if you know someone. Ask someone if they can take you for a ride, and get out, see if you enjoy it, and if you do, you'll be hooked for life.
And what do you think are the key skills to be successful?
Yeah, apart from the fundamentals like I talked about in trials, I think just having good concentration, I think helped me this year. It's not like a solo where you just got your bike to worry about. You need to be thinking about that sidecar wheel and where that's going to be, especially through the rocky sections. If you hit a rock on the sidecar wheel, it can end badly. So you need to be thinking about both the bike wheels and the sidecar wheels, and then you need to be thinking about your passenger and making sure that you're not wearing them out because of maybe your aggressive riding style. So smoothing up your riding style to get your passenger through events is probably a big thing.
Yep.
Because if you can be the fastest one out there on the first lap, but if your passenger has used all his energy, then you're not going to go far through the night, especially in 24. So that's probably one of the biggest things I think of, and I try and pride myself off of the smooth riding style.
And it definitely makes a difference as a passenger. Like, you can really feel it when you're hitting all those rocks. You can feel it through your whole body. Like, you notice it.
Yeah, sure. And if your rider's aggressive on the throttle, and as a passenger you're just getting flung around, you're holding on, and then that might make you late for a corner, and then all of a sudden the sidecar wheel's picked up and you're off on the right instead of turning left and into the trees, and then you've smashed your lights or something. So it can happen so quickly. You just need to I feel like just keep it smooth, and smooth is fast.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, you might think, you run off the track, but like you said, you could smash your lights. Then that's everything's over then from something just silly.
Game over from just being maybe a little bit aggressive on the throttle and ripping the grab rail out of your passenger's hands, and just snowballs from there. Yeah.
Yep, so much stuff can come into it, and especially in those long races.
Definitely that, and bike prep.
Yeah. Well, you must be doing all right because you haven't had any DNFs yet. So in the 24, that's pretty good.
It's been, like I said, I've sort of kept it sort of as my own stat, but I think I worked out the other day that I've done 74 or 75 events, 24s in 6 hours, and yet to have a DNF. So I'm pretty stoked with that. So now that I've said that, I'll probably jinx myself, and we might come out next year and not finish an event. But I've got that 24 win, so now I'm relaxed. And if something happens, well, it's either meant to be or not meant to be.
Yeah. No, you've done all right. There's some people that have bloody DNF'd like heaps of times and only finished once or whatever.
Yeah, and they keep coming back and trying to get it, and I give credit to those people that don't give up, because I've been very fortunate and lucky with with my long streak, but I know there's plenty out there that haven't, and it can be just a little issue that pull someone out of an event.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it can be unfortunate, but that's I guess why they keep coming back, because they want that finish.
Yeah, well, I'm not letting it beat me.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I'd definitely give credit to those sort of people that continue to keep trying, even if it's not going their way at times.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, I think we've been chatting for, I don't know, an hour and a half now, so I better go get my kids some dinner.
Yep.
They'll be banging on the door in a minute.
I'm going to go and cook some dinner and sit down and watch the Crows. Hopefully, get another win.
Oh, you'll be able to stir a few people up with that then.
Yeah, that was last week after they beat Port, the old crosstown rivalry.
Cool. Well, thanks heaps for coming on and chatting, and it was good.
Yep, no, I appreciate the invite.
Yeah,
thank you for having me on.
Yeah, and I'm gonna talk to B2 next week, so I'll have a B1, B2 follow up.
B1, B2, yep. Beautiful.
Yep, the Brads.
The Brads.
It's funny. It's like, oh, here comes the Brads.
Yeah, it's really the old B1 and B2's taken off. I don't even know where it started or who it started with, whether it was something on social media or something. But anyway, it's definitely
Yeah, well, it's like,
taken off.
Brad,
for sure.
Brad, which Brad?
Yeah.
That Brad. Which one's Brad?
And then when you throw Brad Brook into it as well, it's like there's another Brad around.
Yeah.
So sometimes we're at fuel dumps and someone will yell out Brad, and the three of us will turn around and look, and we're still not sure who's asking for who. We always have a bit of a laugh. It's good fun.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, who's winning? Oh, the Brads. The Brads are coming in, you know. That's good.
I'm glad we're getting some good publicity. That's for sure.
Yeah. Now I think B1 and B2 is going to stick now.
I think so.
You'll have to wear a bananas in pajamas bloody onesie when you do the next one.
Yeah, well, we might have to now.
Yeah, or get big bananas in pajamas sticker for the front of the sidecar. B1 and B2.
Yeah. We'll see what we can work out.
That'll give people a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
No, awesome. All right, well, you take it easy. And
thank you.
Thanks again for jumping on. And
not a problem at all.
Congrats on the 24, and I'm sure you'll be back out there doing it again. So
yeah, we'll rest and recover, and we'll make some plans and go from there.
No, cool, awesome. All right, see ya.
All right, thank you very much. See you later.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed that episode with Brad Hunter. Massive thanks to Brad for jumping on and having a chat with me, and massive congratulations on his recent 24-hour win. Thanks, everyone, for the support, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.